So, since there's so many of y'all on here talking about go back to Africa, you should go, blah, 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 I decided to ask ChatGPT, Chat, what would happen if all Black Americans left the U.S. and returned to Africa? And one thing ChatGPT do not do is lie, baby. So this is what ChatGPT said. This is food for thought for everybody who's saying go back to Africa. So first, Black Americans make up 14% of the U.S. population and contribute significantly to healthcare, education, sports, entertainment, government. And a sudden departure would create significant labor shortages. That's one. Two, Black Americans contribute over $1.7 trillion annually to the U.S. economy. A departure like that would create a sudden loss of economic power. 3, Black-owned businesses, which employ millions of Americans, would shut down or relocate, shifting the wealth to whatever country all of us went to. Number 4. Now this one gonna really piss you off. This one gonna piss you off. Loss of cultural influence. Black Americans, and I quote, Black Americans have shaped U.S. culture through jazz, hip-hop, and blues, fashion, language, and sports. Their departure would significantly alter America's cultural identity. Here's where it gets good again. A decline in innovation. Blacks foster creativity and innovation. The loss of racial diversity could slow technological advances. See, y'all ancestors ain't tell y'all how sick y'all was. See, y'all, before y'all found us, y'all was fighting each other. See, ain't nobody passed that information on to y'all. Y'all don't know about all that. See, our people passed information on. Y'all people didn't. Y'all wanted to be lost in translation, but we know. We know. We know.
Living a dream, living the African dream.
Are you planning to travel, relocate, or invest in Africa? Before making permanent decisions, equip yourself with the knowledge you need to make informed choices. Africa 101 is your guide to relocating, investing, and living in Africa. This is your essential resource, covering the basics and must-know insights to guide you confidently. Download your guide now at panafricanlifestyle.com and take the first step toward a thriving future in the motherland.
When I first got here, the way that people treated me changed the way I think about life. Like I told y'all before, I have anxiety that's very, very bad. Actually, like I have a crippling anxiety sometimes. So being in a new country, after my dogs just got deported, I'm here with my 2 little kids, and my partner is back in the States, not able to get here just yet. And I still wanted to explore. I didn't want my fear to keep me in the room because I know that I'll let it happen. And then I'll be depressed that my fear kept me in the room and I let anxiety win. So I said, no, we're not going to do that. I'm going to push through and just go out and see something, even though I'm nervous as hell. So I thought, okay, well, if I do a few things by myself, then I'll feel comfortable doing them with the kids. And then, we can continue to do stuff. So the first day that I was there, after I had already done the stuff to help Kenzo get back to the U.S., I decided to go outside. I was staying in the city center area, and it was very intimidating for me because it was extremely fast-paced, and I am not used to that. I thought it was going to be a little bit slower, but everybody was out. Everybody was having a great time. There was a lot of noise, a lot of people, a lot of cars, a lot of horns. It was a lot. I'm overstimulated by the time I step out of the hotel door, but I'm determined to make a path so that I can take my kids out so they can see something too, because they're just as excited as everyone else. And they're also extremely bummed that Kenzo's not there with them. They have been so sad to the point to where they were crying at night, like, I just miss Kenzo. I just want to see Kenzo. And I'm like, kids, I know, like, he's coming back soon. Like, you know, they acting like he got deployed or something. But it was difficult for all of us. So I wanted to cheer them up by taking them somewhere. So first thing, I go out and I'm on Long Street. Soon as I go out, I see the doorman for the hotel and I ask him, like, is this a safe area? Is it okay for me to walk around by myself? He was like, yeah, you'll be fine. There's police or security everywhere. You're good. Like, you can go ahead. And I'm like, okay, I still take that with a grain of salt because I got to keep my eyes open, right? Mind you, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, so I don't know what the hell I was scared of, but I was terrified. I went outside and I'm walking down the sidewalk. There's lots of people and everything's going good. I get to like one traffic light away from where I was at. And I was shook. Like, I'm still nervous. I'm surveying the area. I'm trying to figure out where I'm at and make sure that nobody's trying to get me. And by the time I reached the second light, I was terrified. I was about to turn around and go back because I was overstimulated. Nobody was doing anything to me. I was just afraid. I just turned around and started walking back towards where my hotel room was. And my the attendant to that hotel was standing there and he like waved at me. He was like, "You good?" He just said like, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." But like, he could tell that I was nervous. And he like, just with our eyes from 2 lights away from each other, he was like, "You're good. Like, go ahead." I was like, that little gesture meant so much to me because it just felt like it's somebody that's kind of looking out for you. You know, I'm out here and it seems like I'm completely by myself. I don't know any of these people. I'm outside by myself. I'm scared as hell just because I'm nervous. And it was one person that was there that I don't know, that didn't stand to gain anything from me. And he just let me know, like, hey, I'm looking out for you. And it was an older gentleman. He had to be in his like 50s probably. And he just, you know, let me know, like, I'm looking out for you. You can go ahead and explore. You know, staying along this street, I can see all the way down there. And if something was to happen, maybe he would say something, call somebody, or whatever the case was. And it just gave me a sense of security to know that at least, you know, my dogs, there is one person that's looking out. And honestly, in a bad situation, you cannot put a price on that. I felt so grateful to just be able to explore freely with somebody that I don't even know that said they're kind of looking out for me. And also, this is the same guy that would go up to every Uber and confirm that the Uber was taking me to the right place and that they had the right passenger and I had the right information for them. And he also did the same thing with my Uber Eats orders. Like, he would make sure that it was, you know, who they said they was, and I wasn't just getting too close to random cars. And I truly, truly, truly appreciated that. And it just gave me faith in humanity again. Shortly after that, Kenzo would return to South Africa and the party would really get started. I'm going to tell y'all that in the next video.
So I've officially lived in Tanzania for 8 years. Yes, 8 years, you guys. And before I moved, I didn't really do too much planning. It was really spontaneous. And I got a lot of feedback from people saying how crazy it was, how scary that could be. Like, are you sure you want to do that? Yada, yada, yada. But what's crazier? Staying in a place that's not feeding your spirit, where you're not growing, where you're not being challenged in a productive way. Because yes, life in the States can be very challenging. But what's crazier? Staying in a place where it doesn't sit right with your spirit, or going off to explore and going off to get what you want out of life, going off to tap into something different, to a whole different vibe. So many people wait for the right time to come and to make a move and do this and that. The fact of the matter is, it's never gonna come. You have to make that moment.
Pan-African lifestyle.
Promote your campaign with PAL. Email info@panafricanlifestyle.com or visit panafricanlifestyle.com for business and general inquiries.
One of the most powerful people that changed my narrative to come to Ghana is Wodemaya.
Interesting.
I remember in March, this is March 2021, that was the first day I saw Wodemaya, and I told myself, this guy has told me that yes, you need to go back home, through one of his videos that I watched.
I love it.
Wodemaya changed my perspective big time about coming back home to Ghana. So I still wanted to go to America, and I told myself, even if I was asleep on the street, I would still go.
Really?
Yes, that bad, so bad. But this guy, he really did not like me, and I felt like he did not like black people. You could have rednecks like that. I've had some at the point where I've had a gun pointed to my head before. It is said or known, or we hear, that when you come to Ghana with a degree from outside, you get a better job. False. You're broke. You don't have money. Your baby, you would not love your baby even if you're broke. And your baby would not love you even though it's a baby if you're broke. Love is real, but love without money makes it hard. Because money will service love. That night when I woke up around 2 a.m., my spirit being my inner person spoke to me, said, find something else to do. Leave the degree. He did
The one you paid so much money
Yes,
for.
the one I paid so much. I've never
Sacrificed so much for.
and I've never worked with it. I did not know I was going to be an Uber driver, but I would not be where I am if I did not drive Uber. So deep within me, I was not happy. There were times that I parked my car. I remember one time I parked my car and I wept so bad because I was like,
You felt like a
is
failure.
this why I went to school, everything, to be an Uber driver? I was very sad.
Really?
Because I did not see myself driving Uber at any point in my life.
So, how much were 7? How much were you making after 3 months when you calculate?
I would be very honest, in my first year I made $106,000 driving Uber.
Interesting.
Yes.
The first year.
But I drove for 17, 18 hours a day non-stop.
What?
Yes.
Is that even humanly possible? Interesting.
I can say that right now in my life, that is the best job that I ever did.
You had a stroke whilst driving Uber.
Yes, because
and
I
still had to go to work.
Yes, I had worked so much because now I was working so much, insane. 18 hours, 17 hours a day. Wake up at 3 a.m. By 3:30 I'm out. I come home at 9, 10 p.m. every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 5 years non-stop, not a single day off.
No day off.
No day off. The zeal and
What was pushing you?
what was pushing me was I wanted to come home and do something. Because when I tell them, they will look down on me. And I don't mind getting my hands in the dirt, as long as it is not illegal, as long as I'm not going against the law and I'm not doing the wrong thing. And all I need to do is to put on my shoes, get into it, get in the dirt and make money, I will do it. When you depend on one source of income, you're a poor man. When you live paycheck to paycheck, you are poor. Because you have to have an extra source of income. So if I'm working in America driving Uber and something is working in Ghana or people are working here for me, that is a double source of income. When one fails, I fall on the other. So the goal was to build multiple streams of income so that when I fall here, I can rise on this stage. And one of the principles that I learned through that bus that I brought home was never to work with family.
Interesting.
Yes, I'd rather help family when they come to me, but not work with them. So one of the best places that any young man can start his dream is Africa. It might look very bleak and it might not sound reasonable because of so many things going on, but I'm telling you, there are people that are horribly struggling in America. When I drove Uber years and I went down like Southeast DC and places, people came to me asking for $1. So if America is the land of opportunities, Africa has endless opportunities.
Interesting.
When I was in America, gas price was $1.75. But now gas price is going to $4. So life is changing everywhere. If you lose hope here, you can lose hope in America. There's a lot of people in America that have lost hope. I would say that if I had a better opportunity, I would have moved back home earlier than I did. I wasted so much time. But the only reason was that building capital in this part of our world or getting capital to start something is always hard.
We do not have a mortgage here. So we spend about $1,500 a month. We were fortunate. I'm a realtor. in the United States. I would love to sell real estate here too, but my job of 20 plus years was in real estate. So we were fortunate when we did decide to make that move to South Africa. We put our house on the market. And this is how you know God is real and things happen in his plan. One day, my house went on the market. That same day, my house was sold for $700,000. It made it very easy for us to come here and buy this home for a little over half of what we sold our house for. Hello, I am Sabu, SBU. Welcome to my home. Hello, I am Sabu, SBU for my family in the United States, but they gave me the name of Sabu when I actually came to South Africa. Sabu is God's blessings, and I receive all of that goodness. So I am Sabu. I've been on YouTube, I think about 3 years now. I am a wife. I've been married for 29 years. My husband and I are business owners, and we actually recently, within 9 months, decided to move to South Africa. Let's start here in this area. This is what I call maybe like the family room, the dining room, formal areas. We have here just a sitting area. We have our formal dining. And over here is just a sitting area, and we picked a round sofa for conversation. So when you're here, you can't help but talk to each other. Cannot help but talk to each other. Now, over here.
This is why we moved out of the country. So many people want to know why we left America. We sold everything that we owned. We packed up our dogs, our 2 kids, and we moved across the world to another country. We're here in South Africa right now. This is KZN. When we left America, we had no idea how much our lives would change. We had no clue that shopping would become peaceful, that strangers would become friends, and that we would want to stay here forever. We thought that leaving America was going to be a temporary fix for some of the problems that we were facing, but now it's turned into a lifelong journey of finding home. We're not looking for a place to just visit or just be tourist at. We're looking for somewhere that we can be fully immersed in culture and start to put roots down and become a part of a community. We've been living in Cape Town, South Africa for almost 2 years now. And every single day we're amazed at how well the kids are fitting in, how well they've adapted to their new life, and how comfortable we are here. I actually can't imagine my life anywhere else, and that's weird to say, seeing as how I moved from America. But nonetheless, this is home. Well, kinda home. See, because I live in Cape Town, South Africa, but this is KZN, and it's been changing my mind. I'm starting to think that I want to relocate and move to Durban because of the beautiful shopping, the beautiful scenery, and of course, the weather. It's literally summer 24/7 here, and it doesn't get cold. I hate the cold. So I don't know about you, but I love to be surrounded by beauty. I feel like my inner beauty can really shine when I'm somewhere that is beautiful and matches my essence as well. Durban has all of that. What do y'all think?
One whole year. That is how long it has been since I moved from the US to Uganda, Africa. Like a whole year. So your girl can tell you the 411 of like planning your move from America or any other country, and if you want to experience living in the motherland, right? So I'll say this off the rip, like I still 100% stand by my decision to move here. I absolutely love living here, but right, there is a but. If you are someone that, you know, is not open-minded, this journey is not for you. If you are someone that cannot pivot, like this journey is not for you. If you're someone that gets stressed out easily about inconveniences, this journey is not for you, okay? If you're someone that requires a lot to be happy, this journey is not for you. And I'll break those down by saying, like, obviously you're moving from a quote-unquote developed country to a developing country. So a lot of your things that you've gotten used to there are not here, but they're different things that replace those things in a beautiful way, right? So you have to program that into your mind that you're going to be giving something up in order to gain something else, right? So first thing that I would say is customer service, right? Customer service is a big thing in the West. Here in Uganda, not so much, you know, and it's been something that I had to like get used to, because customer service is something that is like so ingrained in me. Like, I'm Jamaican, so even in my country, like, customer service is not the best, but we're hospitable, right? It's been interesting trying to like learn Ugandan dialects and also understand what they mean when they are talking to you, because off the rip it comes off like, what did you just say to me, right? And it takes a minute to get used to. Let me give you an example. When the utility person comes to my house to like tell me that my water bill is due, or like something happens and he has to come to my house to tell me that I owe for my water, he literally comes and says to me, I'm demanding you to pay me XYZ. Who says that? Like, who says that? So then I'm looking at him like, what do you mean you're demanding me? Like, what does that mean? And he's like, yes, madam, I'm demanding you. I'm like, what? So for me, that was an adjustment. I was very confused. I was just like, you can't come to my house and talk to me like that. If you are requesting that I need to clear my bill, you need to come and be like, hello, good morning, I'm requesting that you clear your bill because it is due. You don't come to me and be like, I'm demanding you, right? So those things took me a minute to get used to, because I was not used to someone speaking to me like that, right? But I've been here a year, so now I'm used to it, and when someone says it to me, it doesn't come off as an offense. Like, I understand what is it that they're saying. But in the beginning, your girl was ready to fight. Your girl was ready to fight, because who are you talking to like that? Who are you talking to like that? So those things, like cultures, mannerisms, and stuff like that, you have to be ready and willing to learn a complete different culture. Like, you cannot come with the mindset that, oh, I'm used to living in the Western world and I'm used to these things and I'm not going to adjust to anything else, because you're going to be uncomfortable. But if you have the mindset that, okay, I am coming into a different culture and I'm open and I'm willing to learn said culture, then you'll be fine. But you truly have to have patience and you have to be willing to learn, because you're coming into a complete different culture from what you're used to, and everything is different. Mannerisms, greetings, like everything. So you have to be open to learning. You can't just think that you're gonna like pick yourself up from America, come to any African country, and it's just gonna be the same. It's not gonna be the same. So you have to be open and willing to learn. If you're open and willing, then it's a vibe. You'll have a good time. But for me, that was something that threw me off, because I was like, who are you talking to? But a year later, someone comes to my house and be like, madam, I'm demanding you. I'm like, okay, how much do I owe? But in the beginning, someone said that to me, I was instantly like, what? So first, that's my first rant. Stay tuned, more to come. Bye. I think this is like a 5-minute video. Sorry, guys.
All right, so 7 years in the USA, I have decided to move back home to Ghana. And it took me 4 years to make that decision. And I'll say this is one of the toughest decisions that I've ever made in my entire life. And when I came here, just to give you a context, when I came here, I was 23 years old. That was back in 2017. So I'll be 30 years this year. And after 7 years, for some reason, I feel the need to go back home. I don't have a plan. That's the scariest part of it. I don't have a plan. I just have a feeling, and I'm just taking a step based on these feelings, which is not ideal, which is not something good to do. But for some reason, I just have this feeling within me, this discernment that my true potential can be seen in Ghana. And that's all what I have right now, with no plan, no strategic planning. I just want to go. So I had a conversation with my mom. Even though she didn't want me to move back, I have decided to do it. So I've been able to convince her enough, and I'm going. One aspect of me is extremely happy. One aspect of me is also curious, not sure, not too certain, and it's normal. Okay, it's normal to feel this way, because I never thought I'll be moving back to Ghana or back home so soon. And on a normal standard approach, most immigrants go back home when they retire, right? So I'll say in their late 50s, 60s, that's when they move back. But I'm only 30 years old. So for me, it's too soon. But also, I don't think ideas will be fully formed before we should take them, or no idea will come fully formed. So at some point you might want to do some stuff and you just don't know what to do, but you know you need to do it, right? And in as much as the US offers you a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of stuff that you don't see, or most people don't pay attention to. Especially if you've never lived in this country before. You think it's all glamorous, it's all shiny and all that stuff, but it's extremely stressful. So you end up working so hard, you make a lot of money, but the quality of life, to me, it's quite great. It's not to the extent that I want it. So my social life is messed up, health-wise, things are off. So I'm just trying to go back home and focus more on things that means a lot to me at this point in my life. And as you grow, if you're watching this video, as you grow, I would say always pay attention to the things that means a lot to you, because they will change. Maybe right now you find yourself at a stage where you're more concerned about money, or maybe you're more concerned about having a family, settling down, and all that stuff. And when you achieve those things, you realize that those things, but those things don't mean a lot like you think they will, right? So at every stage in your life, you have to focus on what means a lot to you, and you chase those things. And sometimes it's just maybe going back to where you started from. So that's how I see it at this point in my life. So it's a tough decision, and I'm making this video to say, if you've done it before and you have any tips for me, I will appreciate it. If you're also thinking about doing this, I'll say go for it. Don't let anything stop you. You will never know what's at the end of the tunnel until you get there. If you fail, guess what? You learn something. You can share your story. You will improve one way or the other. If you succeed, then you got what you were looking for, right? So this is something that I really wanted to share with you.
I think it's extremely dangerous to tell people to enter the expat lifestyle and you are not mentally preparing them for the shift that has to happen. I just watched a video about this guy who said, I couldn't stitch it, but that they are unaliving Americans in Africa. Now, we moved our family from America to Turkey. Before moving to Turkey, we invested in Africa. It's extremely dangerous, and I feel like irresponsible to just tell people, all Americans should just go back home to Africa. When I post stuff, a lot of people get upset and they say, oh, she's generalizing. I'm not generalizing. I've had the same experience more than 10 times or in multiple countries on the continent. It's not a generalization at this point. Now, it is important to note, Africans, for the most part, do not view you as their sister or brother if you are not immersed in the culture or you have no knowledge of the culture. They view you as a white person. They view you as a white person, but they don't give you the same respect that they give because a lot of them worship their colonizers. Now, don't Akata, Obroni, it's the same thing. There is an entire mindset shift that has to happen, and it probably will not happen in our lifetime. It'll probably happen in our children's lifetime. You cannot move from America to any country and come and flash your wealth and think that people are not going to mark you as a target. And I think when we talk about like the return home and all of this return to Africa, like propaganda, don't talk about the fact that they will hear your accent and automatically cha-ching, start calculating how many dollars they can get from you. And this is not to say that this is only for Americans. It is even for Africans who have been raised in America, born in America, and they come home. It is no longer home. It is home in a sense of you get this nostalgic feeling when you go home, but I really need people to understand that the moment you leave your country, things change. When you return home, you are no longer on the same level mentally as your counterparts that you left in your home country. There are moms who have left Jamaica to work and send money back home to their kids only to come home and be set up by their children. I think it's extremely dangerous to tell people to enter the expat lifestyle and you are not mentally preparing them for the shift that has to happen.